Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love. You know, I was never part of the fucking scene where I was the lead of a bunch of fucking Jewish girls who fucking sung jazz and shit. But I guess you never met anyone quite like myself, right? You see, when I was little, I actually wanted to be a roller skate waitress. Really, I did. Up until about the age of 16, I was like, woo, I'm gonna be a roller skate waitress. But then, you know, this whole fucking singing thing came up. And I was like, who? Alright. Well, I guess I'll do that then. Amy Winehouse once stated, "I don't think your ability to fight has anything to do with how strong you are. It has to do with how much anger is in you." In the end, it was Amy's unending want to fight that she is best known for, fighting for both her life and her music. The life of a vibrant and eccentric woman who single-handedly pioneered an entire genre of music, refused to fit into the molds of what her labels wanted her to be, and brought to the world the one thing that she believed would touch us the most, her jazz music. Now, whether we view her life as a cautionary tale or a legendary one, we learn that through our triumphs we succeed, but in our failures we find our true measures of character, the ones who define who we will become. Through the YouTube videos, Amy Winehouse, Lost But Not Forgotten, the interview compilation, March 4th, 2012, with the interviews On the Couch, March 4th, 2001, and with Kelly Osbourne, January 4th, 2007. A single voice dramatic interpretation. Amy. Well, yeah, I was born in Southgate, North London. That's where I was born and raised. See, I remember my dad, you know, he used to sing Frank Sinatra at the top of his lungs, and I guess it sort of just sunk in. I play all my music myself, in case you were wondering. You know, I just pick up a guitar and I start playing, and then whatever happens, happens. I also told myself I never fucking write another song about love, but I guess I went and did that anyway, didn't I? I'm a firm believer of everything that goes on up here has to go down on your music, you know, your lyrics, your blood, sweat and tears, a lot of it. Even the feelings you don't want to acknowledge. Woo, especially the fucking feelings you don't want to acknowledge are like the ones you wish weren't true what they are. Look, I know it doesn't make much sense right now, but I promise you it will. I guess you could say I'm a huge lover of the relationship that two people can have with one another. It's fucking beautiful, you know, the passion, the lust, the jealousy. I guess you could say I'm a huge lover of all that drama. Put it this way, if you read the newspaper, right, and in huge letters it says, Amy Winehouse, blah, 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 and you're like, what? Amy Winehouse punched who? She said what to who? She said what to who? And you're like, wow, that girl's fucking nutty. I guess I have to buy her album, then I'm doing something right. Yeah, I know it's not necessarily proper to punch people, I'm completely aware. In case you didn't notice though, I actually did go to a proper school. Yeah, I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I remember sitting way in the back of the classroom. I mean, no one would really talk to me, you know. I looked like this and sounded like this. I mean, even right now it's a little much, imagine at 5. Anyway, I just didn't fit in. You know, and I told my dad, and he was like, Amy, you don't have to go to no fucking proper school because there's a teacher, right? And he's like, this is the problem you're going to confront in your life, and this is how you're going to approach the problem, and that is how you're going to solve the problem. And I'm like, why can't you just fucking do it yourself? I mean, what's life without a little bit of a surprise, you know? Constant changing, the spontaneity. It's beautiful. Anyway, I guess that's why I didn't really fit in. What makes me uncomfortable? Well, that fucking question, definitely, but, boop. I say this little bugger right here makes me the most uncomfortable. I'm actually quite a terrible drunk. I mean, you're both like, Amy, why the fuck are you drinking in front of us then? But, I'm being honest. Okay? I'm real uncomfortable with the things I've done while I'm drunk coming back to bite me in the bum. Because, I mean, God knows I've done some fucking shitty things in my life. I mean, honest, but fucking shitty. Would you believe that I actually get a fuckload of backlash for drinking? Really, my fans come up to me and they're like, Amy, if you're so fucking depressed, why don't you write about it in your lyrics? And I do. It's just that you can only write it down so much before you just don't feel it anymore, you know. I remember sitting in the back of the classroom, you know, and for example, I'd go up to somebody and I'd be like, hi, how are you? And I wouldn't necessarily get it back. You know, so I would write it all down on my sheets of paper and I told myself, Amy, when you get older, everybody's gonna fucking love you. It couldn't have been more wrong. You know what I mean? I mean, even today, you know, you have these writers and these producers, and they're like, Amy, you know, you're not fucking pretty enough, Amy, or Amy, you're never fucking thin enough, or Amy, the music that you're producing just doesn't make sense to anybody, you know, and it just gets so fucking frustrating because you know in your heart that this is something you actually feel right about. But sometimes the only person who thinks you're good enough is your drink. You know, it's not like I want these people to look up to me and think that this is what they have to look up to. I just want these children to listen to my music and be like, wow, I can do that. I know that a lot of people want me to be perfect. Maybe someday. Fuck it. Not today. Will you still love me tomorrow?